Breathe slowly, as if you could feel the same rhythm that moves through the oceans and the forests, as if your chest were rising and falling in harmony with the planet itself. Let the weight of the day drift away like mist, dissolving at sunrise. In this quiet space, nothing is demanded from you. Nothing is urgent, nothing calls for effort. You are safe to rest, safe to listen, safe to let each word guide you deeper into calm. Imagine that the earth itself leans closer, whispering secrets it has been carrying for ages. Secrets too soft for the noise of daylight. Secrets meant only for the stillness of night. These gentle secrets are here for you now, to help you ease into a state where sleep comes naturally, like dusk slipping into night. The earth is not in a hurry. The oceans do not rush, the mountains do not stumble, the forests do not chatter. Every rhythm of the planet is patient, unhurried, and endless. As you hear these words, your breath can follow the same pace, slower, deeper, smoother. When you let the body soften, when the shoulders sink into the mattress, when your jaw unclenches, you mirror the quiet strength of the earth itself. Think of the tides. They come, they go, they return, never rushing, never forcing, simply existing in balance. Tonight, you are invited to let go into that balance. Your mind may try to hold on to stray thoughts, but each thought is like a small leaf placed on the surface of a wide lake. The water receives it gently, holds it for a moment, and then allows it to drift away. You do not need to follow where it goes. You do not need to control it. Just as lakes, rivers, and seas have been carrying leaves and petals for thousands of years, your inner waters can carry your thoughts away, softly, without resistance. The earth has been breathing long before you were born, long before your parents or your grandparents, long before every story you have ever heard. It has exhaled volcanoes, inhaled forests, sighed through storms, whispered through meadows. Its breath is the wind that brushes against mountains, the breeze that enters through windows at night, the soft current that ripples through wheat fields. Tonight, as you lie in bed, you are breathing with that same earth. You are not separate. You are part of this gentle exchange, this infinite rhythm of in and out, rise and fall, stillness and motion. Let the voice you hear become a companion, like a lantern carried through a quiet path at night, lighting just enough for the next step, never overwhelming, never demanding. This is not a lecture, not a lesson, not a performance. It is a lullaby disguised as storytelling, a soft weaving of facts and feelings meant only to cradle you into sleep. Allow yourself to release the need to stay alert. The world outside your room can wait. For now, there is only you, your breath, and the endless patience of the earth. If at any point you find yourself drifting away, if your eyelids grow heavy, if your body forgets where it ends and where the bed begins, let that happen. You do not need to force yourself to listen until the end. This video, this narration, is not something to complete. It is something to rest within. You can let go at any moment, and the earth will keep whispering. Imagine now that you are standing at the edge of a wide ocean at twilight. The sky is painted in deep blues and gentle purples, the horizon stretching without end. The waves approach with unhurried rhythm, curling, spreading, dissolving, retreating. They are steady, eternal, and soothing. Each wave mirrors your breath, in as the water swells, out as it drifts back. The sand beneath your feet is cool, grounding, and supportive. The sound of the ocean is not just heard but felt, vibrating softly through your chest, resonating with the slow beating of your heart. You realize that the planet is alive, not as a rush of activity, but as a calm presence, always here, always steady. You may think of the countless generations who have stood before oceans, who have felt the same breeze, who have watched the same stars. All of them found comfort in the rhythms of the earth. Tonight, you too are part of that lineage of quiet wonder. The ground beneath you, the sky above you, the air within you, all are parts of the same vast, breathing earth. As you listen, I invite you to soften not only your body, but also your thoughts about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. The sun will rise whether you worry or not. The oceans will continue their dance. The forests will continue their murmur. The earth will continue to breathe. You are not responsible for holding the world together tonight. You are only responsible for resting, for closing your eyes, for allowing your body and mind to be carried by these stories. If these gentle secrets of the earth bring you peace, if you find yourself sinking into comfort as you listen, I gently ask you, when you wake refreshed, to like this video. Leave a kind comment about how it helped you. Share it with someone else who might need rest. And subscribe so that tomorrow, when night comes again, you can return to sleep-tied narratives. Your support allows this quiet space to remain, a place where you can always come back for calm, for peace, for sleep. Now let us begin the journey. Tonight, we will wander through oceans that breathe with the patience of centuries, forests that hum with life too subtle to notice in the day, mountains that move so slowly they appear eternal, and skies that cradle stars like candles floating on a black river. Each fact you will hear is true, but it will be told with the softness of a lullaby, so that truth becomes not heavy, not demanding, but light, soothing, and sleep-bringing. The earth has endless gentle secrets, and tonight they are yours. Close your eyes if you wish, or keep them half open until they drift shut on their own. There is no right way, no wrong way. Only this moment, only this calm, only this chance to rest. Let the earth breathe with you, let the secrets unfold, and let sleep come like the tide, slowly, steadily, without effort. Block 2, Oceans, the planet's heartbeat. Imagine the vast expanse of water that wraps itself around the continents, a body so immense that it covers more than 2/3 of our planet, a presence so steady that it has been called the heartbeat of Earth. The oceans breathe in tides, they exhale in waves, they whisper in currents. Even now, as you lie in the safety of your bed, the sea is moving, stretching, flowing endlessly, unceasingly. You may not hear it from where you are, but the rhythm is there, soft as a lullaby, constant as a pulse, soothing as a cradle that rocks all life into balance. If you close your eyes, you can picture yourself standing on a quiet shoreline at night. The air is cool, carrying with it a faint taste of salt. The moonlight paints a trembling silver path across the water, a path that seems to invite you to step gently into the horizon. Each wave approaches with calm persistence, curling at the edge, reaching toward your feet, before retreating again into the great body behind it. Nothing is rushed, nothing is loud, nothing is urgent. The ocean knows patience better than any creature. It has been moving like this for billions of years, long before cities, long before history, long before even the first trees found roots in the soil. To listen to the ocean is to listen to the memory of the earth. Every drop has traveled through countless cycles, rising as vapor, falling as rain, running as rivers, merging as seas. The water you see has touched mountains, clouds, valleys, animals, and humans who came long before you. It is ancient and ever new, patient and ever moving. And tonight, as you breathe in and out, your lungs mirror the ocean's tides. Inhale, the wave approaches. Exhale, the wave returns. Over and over, a rhythm too natural to resist, too comforting to deny. The ocean does not ask for anything. It does not demand your attention. It does not require your effort. It simply exists, vast and eternal, and in its presence you are allowed to be small, safe, and carried. Many people fear being small, but in the ocean's rhythm, smallness is peace. You do not have to hold everything together. You do not have to understand every mystery. You can simply float, as countless creatures have done for millions of years. Think of the whales drifting through dark waters, singing songs that travel farther than any voice on land. Their calls echo through hundreds of miles, weaving through the water like threads of music. These songs are not rushed. They can last hours, repeating patterns, stretching melodies into the deep. Imagine yourself as one of those notes, carried gently by the ocean, gliding through layers of water, unhurried, at peace. Or think of the corals, tiny beings that build vast cities under the waves, structures so enormous they can be seen from space. They grow slowly, patiently, almost imperceptibly, year after year, century after century. Their calm persistence creates reefs that cradle fish, shelter turtles, and provide food for countless lives. The ocean knows how to create abundance without noise, how to sustain balance without force. You too tonight can let your own rest grow slowly, patiently, quietly, like a reef forming in silence. The ocean is also a mirror of the sky. When you look into its surface, you see not just water but reflection of stars, of clouds, of dawn breaking. Lying here, you can imagine yourself on a boat, rocking gently, looking up at constellations that shimmer above and shimmer again below, as if the world had doubled into two skies. The air is still, the wood beneath you creaks softly, the water sighs against the sides. Your body feels weightless, as if supported not only by the boat but by the ocean itself, by the planet itself, holding you the way it has held so much life before. Even the science of the sea is soothing. The deep currents that move like rivers under the surface, the Gulf Stream, the thermohaline circulation, these are not violent forces, but steady flows, carrying warmth from one hemisphere to another, distributing balance across the planet. They move slowly, invisibly, like hidden lullabies beneath the surface. To know that such rhythms exist, to know that the earth takes care of itself in cycles so grand and gentle, is to know that you too can rest. You too can release control. You too can trust the greater balance that cradles you. Picture yourself descending into the deeper layers of the sea, not with fear, but with calm curiosity. At first there is light, then twilight, then darkness. But even in the darkness there is life, creatures glowing softly, pulsing like lanterns in the deep. They are not loud or frightening. They are serene, drifting, each movement slow, each flicker gentle. Their world is quiet, and as you imagine it, your own world grows quiet too. Your mind softens, your breath slows, your body settles. You are not in a rush, you are simply sinking into peace, like a diver who lets go and allows the water to hold them. Remember that the ocean cradled the very first life on Earth. Every creature that has ever lived traces its origin back to the sea. Even in your own body, in your blood, in your cells, the salt remains as a memory of that oceanic beginning. You carry the sea within you, the same minerals, the same rhythms, the same connection. Tonight, when you rest, you are returning to that origin. You are going back to the cradle that shaped you, the waters that sustained you, the tides that prepared you for life. In remembering the ocean, you remember your home. Let the sound of imagined waves move through you. Let each inhalation feel like a tide rising, each exhalation like a tide falling. If a thought comes, let it dissolve like foam on the surface, vanishing into the greater body beneath. You do not need to chase it, you do not need to hold it. The ocean teaches you the art of letting go. As you continue to drift, let yourself feel gratitude for this vast living body. Gratitude not as a sharp thought, but as a gentle warmth, like the water itself embracing your skin. Gratitude that the ocean exists, that it breathes with you, that it whispers to you even from far away. Tonight you are not alone in your rest. You are held by the same force that has held life for eons. And so, with the ocean's heartbeat echoing softly in your own, allow yourself to surrender more deeply into calm. The day has ended. The sea continues. You can sleep, and the ocean will keep moving, rocking you in its endless patience. Sleep as if you were a wave returning home. Sleep as if you were a shell resting on sand. Sleep as if you were part of the ocean itself, because in truth, you are. Block 3. Dawn light across continents. There is a moment each day when the world is reborn, though most of us sleep through it, unaware of the quiet transformation unfolding on the horizon. The dawn does not rush. It does not arrive with fanfare. It enters softly, as if the earth itself were opening its eyes after a long night. Imagine lying still, safe where you are, while far away the first edge of light brushes against the curve of the planet. It is not a single beam, not a sudden flare, but a gradual unveiling, a slow spreading of warmth and color that moves like a tide across continents. The light travels silently, yet it touches mountains, rivers, forests, deserts, and seas, weaving a golden thread through them all. Close your eyes and picture this. In the east, the horizon glows faintly, a pale shimmer almost too delicate to notice. Birds stir in their nests, animals stretch in their dens, flowers prepare to open. The air shifts, carrying the promise of renewal. As the minutes pass, the glow expands, pinks and oranges melting into blues, the sky becoming a canvas that changes without sound. Somewhere, a child awakens to the first light. Somewhere else, a farmer steps outside to greet the fields, while in another place a traveler watches the first rays filter through mist. And yet, even if you are not awake to see it, the dawn always comes, faithful, unhurried, certain. The earth has rotated toward the sun in this way for billions of years. Every morning is both ordinary and miraculous. To think that as you lie here in your bed, countless dawns are unfolding at this very instant, over the Pacific Islands, over the deserts of Africa, over the snowy peaks of the Himalayas, over quiet villages and vast cities. Somewhere now, someone is standing by a window, their face touched by the first light of day. Somewhere now, a forest is glowing as beams of sun filter through leaves still wet with dew. Somewhere now, the planet is whispering, life begins again. Let yourself imagine that you are floating above the earth, watching as the band of light slowly sweeps across its surface. Darkness lingers on one side, stars still visible, while on the other side, the sun climbs gently, dissolving shadows. The line between night and day is not sharp. It is a gradient, a soft blending. That blending is what makes dawn so calming. It is never sudden, never jarring, but always gradual, like a breath that deepens, like a heart that settles into rhythm. You can let your own body follow this same pace. You can feel yourself as the earth feels when dawn arrives, relaxed, renewed, at peace. Even the science of dawn is soothing. The earth spins at nearly 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, yet the light arrives with gentleness. It does not overwhelm. It caresses. The atmosphere bends the sun's rays, scattering colors into soft reds and violets, filtering brightness into something tender. The air grows cooler just before the first light, then warms slowly as the sun climbs. It is a reminder that even great forces, The rotation of a planet, the fire of a star, can express themselves with softness. There is no rush in nature's unfolding. There is only patience. Think of the countless lives guided by dawn. Migrating birds orient themselves by its glow. Fishermen once set sail at its arrival. Farmers trusted it to mark the beginning of labor. Monks used it as a call to prayer. Dawn has been a rhythm, a companion, a reassurance. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you can trust that dawn will come again. You do not need to see it to know it is there. You do not need to rise with it to benefit from its constancy. You can let it unfold on its own while you rest, secure in the knowledge that the earth keeps its promise. Picture a mountain ridge at first light. The peaks are still shrouded in shadow, the valleys cool and dim. Then, slowly, the sun edges over, painting the tips with gold. The light trickles downward, spilling into meadows, catching on streams, glistening on rocks. Every detail glows as though the mountain had been asleep and was now waking. You can imagine yourself as that mountain, steady, unmoving, receiving light without effort, allowing warmth to seep into every crevice. Your body is the ridge, your breath is the valley, and dawn pours into you, bringing peace instead of activity, calm instead of urgency. Now imagine the sea at dawn. The water is still, reflecting the first hues of the sky. The horizon blurs between ocean and air, as if both were painted with the same brush. The waves are quieter in the early morning, as though they too are waiting for the day to begin. You can feel yourself floating there, carried by the stillness, the boundary between you and the water dissolving. In that moment, you are not separate from the sea or the sky. You are part of the whole picture, a note in the symphony of dawn. Even in cities, dawn arrives with subtlety. Streets that were silent in the night begin to stir. Windows catch light, shadows shorten. Yet there is a stillness that lingers, a pause before the full weight of day begins. For those few minutes, even the busiest places belong to calm. You can hold on to that calm now, as if dawn were happening inside you, a quiet light spreading slowly through your thoughts, illuminating them without judgment, warming them without hurry, dissolving them without effort. As you imagine all these dawns unfolding across the world, remember that the earth never stops. While you rest, somewhere the light is returning. While you sleep, life is awakening. You are part of that cycle, even in stillness. You do not need to move for the world to move. You do not need to act for life to continue. You are carried by the rotation of the planet, by the certainty of its rhythms. That certainty is a gift. It means you can let go tonight. You can release every worry, every task, every plan, knowing that the earth will turn, the dawn will come, and life will begin anew. So breathe in as if you are inhaling the first light. Breathe out as if you are exhaling the shadows of the night. Each cycle brings you deeper into calm, deeper into rest, deeper into sleep. You are safe in the rhythm of the planet, safe in the promise of dawn, safe in the embrace of Earth's gentle secrets. Let the light spread not across continents now, but across your inner landscape, softening every thought, every muscle, every corner of your being. Let dawn arrive within you and let sleep follow, steady and certain, just as it always has. Block 4, Whispering Forest. Imagine stepping into a forest at dusk, when the last traces of sunlight filter through the canopy, when the air is cool and damp, when silence is not the absence of sound, but a presence of something greater, something ancient, something alive. The forest does not announce itself loudly. It speaks in whispers, in the rustling of leaves, in the hum of insects, in the distant call of a bird settling for the night. Even as you lie here in your bed far from trees, the memory of forests is written into your body, into your breath, into the calm that begins to spread when you imagine yourself among them. Forests cover nearly a third of the Earth's land, stretching across continents, across climates, across centuries. They are lungs for the planet, breathing in carbon dioxide, breathing out oxygen, sustaining life with a rhythm as slow and steady as sleep itself. Picture a single tree among thousands, its roots deep in the soil, its trunk steady, its branches swaying gently with the wind. That tree is not alone. Beneath the surface, roots intertwine with fungi, exchanging nutrients, messages, whispers of survival and cooperation. Scientists call it the wood wide web, a hidden network that allows trees to share resources, to warn one another, to exist not as isolated beings, but as a community. And tonight, as you rest, you too are part of a community, held not by roots but by the quiet rhythms of the earth. The forest floor is a tapestry of life. Moss cushions the ground, soft as a blanket. Ferns unfurl with delicate patience. Fallen leaves decompose slowly, returning nutrients to the soil, feeding the cycle of growth. Nothing is wasted, nothing is hurried. Even decay is gentle, even endings are beginnings. To lie among the forest floor in your imagination is to feel supported, to feel that everything has a place, that nothing in you is wasted, that even your tiredness is part of a cycle, leading not to loss but to renewal. Above, the canopy forms a ceiling of green, filtering sunlight into soft beams. During the day, those beams shift with the hours, but at dusk, they fade, leaving behind a cool twilight. Birds retreat to their nests, squirrels curl in their hollows, owls prepare for silent flight. The forest whispers, "Rest now, it is time." You can hear the wind moving through the leaves, a sound that is not noise but music, a melody of countless tiny voices speaking in unison. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the words calm, slow, safe. Forests have always been sanctuaries for human beings. Ancient peoples told stories among trees, prayed among them, sought wisdom in their shade. Even now, studies show that walking in forests lowers blood pressure, slows the heart, quiets the mind. They call it forest bathing, but it is nothing new. It is simply the body remembering what it already knows, that among trees we find peace. Tonight, you do not need to walk there with your feet. You can walk there with your mind, allowing the forest to surround you, to cradle you, to guide you toward sleep. Imagine yourself on a path. The ground is soft with pine needles, releasing a subtle fragrance as you step. The air is cool, tinged with the scent of earth and bark. The sound of leaves above forms a constant hush, like the turning of pages in a vast ancient book. You do not need to reach the end of the path. You do not need to know where it leads. Each step is enough. Each step carries you deeper into calm. With every breath, the forest grows around you, taller, quieter, more embracing. Think of the creatures that share this space. A deer moves silently between the trees, pausing to listen, its breath visible in the cooling air. A fox curls in its den, safe and hidden. Insects hum softly, their tiny wings shimmering in the last light. None of them are hurried, none of them are worried. They are simply existing, simply being, simply resting. You too can join them. You too can let yourself be part of the forest's calm rhythm. Even the science of forests is calming. A single mature tree can release hundreds of liters of water vapor into the air each day, cooling the climate, shaping clouds, inviting rain. Entire forests influence weather patterns, balancing the Earth's systems quietly, invisibly. You cannot see it as you lie here, but you can trust it. The forests are working, breathing, balancing. And that trust allows you to let go, to stop holding, to stop striving. You are not responsible for the rhythm of the world. The trees have it. The earth has it. You can rest. Now picture lying down beneath a great tree, its roots spreading beneath you, its branches arching above. The ground is cool. The air is still. The leaves whisper lullabies in a language older than words. As you close your eyes, you feel the forest holding you, not with arms but with presence, not with hands but with silence. The forest does not ask anything of you. It simply offers itself, a place to be, a place to rest, a place to sleep. And so let the whispers of the forest become your whispers. Let the rustle of leaves become the rhythm of your breath. Let the patience of roots become the patience of your body. Tonight, you are not separate from the forest. Tonight, you are part of its quiet, part of its stillness, part of its endless calm. Sleep as the forest sleeps, breathe as the forest breathes, and let its whispers carry you gently into dreams. Block 5, mountains that move without hurry. Picture a mountain standing before you, its shape rising with calm certainty into the sky, its slopes carved by centuries of wind and rain, its peaks touched by clouds that drift without concern for time. At first glance, mountains appear immovable, eternal, guardians of the horizon. Yet science reminds us that even these giants move, slowly, patiently, invisibly to the hurried eye. They rise as tectonic plates press against one another. They erode as rivers carve valleys. They shift grain by grain as frost expands and retreats. Their movement is measured not in minutes or days, but in millennia, in epochs, in the quiet unfolding of the earth's deep story. Tonight, you are invited to rest in that same patience, that same timelessness, that same unhurried rhythm. Imagine lying in your bed as though you were lying upon the flank of a mountain, your body pressed gently into its solid surface, your breath rising and falling like its ridges, your stillness echoing its grandeur. You do not need to climb, you do not need to conquer, you do not need to achieve. You only need to rest, to be present, to exist as the mountain exists, calm, steady, patient. Mountains are not just stone, they are archives of time. Layers of rock reveal ancient seas, ancient forests, ancient climates. Fossils once hidden in their depths tell stories of creatures long gone. Shells and corals pressed into stone at heights where no ocean now reaches. The mountain holds these secrets without boasting, without urgency, simply waiting for those who pause long enough to listen. In this way, you too can hold your experiences, not clutched in tension, not rushed in worry, but resting quietly within you, ready to be remembered when the time is right. Think of the Himalayas, still rising each year as India presses into Asia, their peaks climbing millimeters that, over ages, become towering summits. Think of the Andes, stretching along South America like a spine, holding glaciers, lakes, forests, and people within their embrace. Think of the Alps, where snow settles softly and streams trickle down into valleys alive with villages. Each range whispers the same lesson. Greatness does not need haste. Growth can be slow, and still it can be magnificent. Now, close your eyes and picture yourself at the base of a mountain at twilight. The air is cool and thin, filled with the scent of pine and stone. A stream flows nearby, carrying the chill of melted snow, its sound a steady lullaby. Above you, peaks catch the last light of the sun, glowing in pink and gold before fading into deep blue. You feel small, but in this smallness there is comfort. For the mountain carries the weight of the sky, the burden of ages, while you carry nothing but your own breath. Mountains are homes too. Eagles nest on their cliffs, goats tread their ridges, bears hibernate in their caves. Life finds its way even in the harshest conditions, adapting, surviving, resting. The mountain does not resist the seasons. It accepts snow in winter, flowers in spring, storms in summer, colors in autumn. Each season belongs, each change is embraced. Tonight, you too can embrace the season you are in, whether it feels like storm or stillness, knowing that rest is always allowed. Even the smallest pebble on a mountain slope carries the same calm as the peak above. It was once part of something larger, now shaped by time, worn by water, smoothed by wind. In the same way, you are shaped gently by time. You are not broken for being different from what you once were. You are simply changed, softened, carried forward by the flow of years. Let that thought bring peace instead of worry. Imagine now that you are high upon a ridge, looking out across valleys that stretch endlessly, rivers shining like silver threads, forests dark and deep, clouds drifting beneath your feet. The world below seems quiet, distant, softened. From this height, worries lose their weight, thoughts lose their urgency, time loses its grip. You can feel yourself expanding, not as a task to complete, but as a presence to rest within. Mountains teach us silence. Their slopes absorb noise. Their vastness humbles chatter. Their stillness deepens every breath. If you listen carefully, you may hear the faint crack of ice, the soft tumble of a stone, the sigh of wind through pines. But these are not interruptions. They are part of the silence itself, notes in a song of calm. Tonight, let that silence be yours. Let it fill the spaces where thoughts once rushed. Let it settle where tension once lingered. Let it soothe where restlessness once stirred. And so, as the mountain moves slowly, as it grows imperceptibly, as it erodes patiently, you too can rest without hurry. You do not need to change everything tonight. You do not need to solve everything before sleep. You only need to allow yourself to be steady as stone, calm as earth, patient as time. Sleep like the mountain sleeps, not rushing, not resisting, but simply existing in the quiet grandeur of the night. Block 6, Grains of Sand, Silent Libraries. Imagine holding a single grain of sand between your fingers. So small, so light, so easily carried by a breeze or a wave. And yet within that grain lies a story older than cities, older than language, older even than most of the creatures alive today. Each grain is a fragment of something once immense, a mountain weathered by wind, a rock shaped by rivers, a shell crushed by waves, coral broken down over centuries. Sand is history made quiet, geology made soft, memory reduced to silence. Tonight, as you rest, think of your own thoughts like grains of sand, countless and gentle, slipping through time without weight, without urgency, without demand. The deserts of the world hold oceans of these grains, stretching further than the eye can see, dunes rising and falling like frozen waves. To step into such a desert is to enter a cathedral of silence. The air is dry, the horizon endless, the sand beneath your feet shifting with every movement. Each grain clings to another, forming shapes that change with the wind, yet remain timeless. In the stillness of the desert, you realize that silence is not emptiness, it is fullness made invisible. Stories packed tightly into every grain. You are surrounded not by nothingness but by libraries of Earth's patience, shelves of ancient memories scattered across the land. Close your eyes and imagine lying in the desert at night. The sand is cool now, releasing the heat it held from the sun. Above you, the stars blaze more brightly than anywhere else, unhindered by clouds or city lights. The air is crisp, still, filled with the quiet hum of existence. Each star seems close enough to touch, and beneath them, every grain of sand reflects a tiny glimmer, as if the ground itself were a mirror to the sky. In that moment, the earth and the heavens are one. joined by the silent witness of sand. You too are part of this union, a body resting between the ground that remembers and the sky that dreams. Sand is not only in deserts. It lines the shores of oceans, carried by tides, washed by waves, shaped into patterns that vanish and reappear with each movement of water. To walk along a beach is to trace a path that billions have walked before, each step pressing briefly into grains that once belonged to mountains, rivers, shells, and reefs. The footprints fade quickly, erased by waves or wind, reminding us that nothing we hold is permanent, but nothing is truly lost either. Every step becomes part of the endless library, every moment a page in the book of sand. Science tells us that a handful of sand may contain thousands of tiny stories. Under a microscope, each grain reveals its unique shape, its composition, its journey. Quartz glitters like glass. Feldspar breaks into softer edges. Volcanic rock holds the memory of fire. Some grains are rounded smooth, tumbled for millennia in rivers or seas. Others are sharp, freshly broken, waiting for time to soften them. To hold sand is to hold time itself, compressed into something fragile, delicate, yet enduring. Tonight, let your own story feel like that. Not rushed, not forced, but shaped slowly, patiently, gently, until even the sharp edges are softened by time. Think of deserts where winds sculpt dunes into curves and ridges, shifting their shapes day by day. No dune stays the same, yet the desert endures. In the same way, your thoughts shift, your moods change, your worries rise and fall. But the deeper you remain steady, like the desert itself, vast and timeless, you do not need to cling to every shape your thoughts take. You can let them shift, knowing that beneath them lies a quiet expanse, wide and unchanging. Picture yourself sitting on a dune at sunrise. The air is cool, the horizon glows, the sand glitters faintly as light spreads across it. You scoop a handful, let it pour slowly through your fingers. It flows like water, slipping away no matter how tightly you try to hold it. Yet it is not lost. It simply returns to the desert, to the endless whole. In this way, you too can let your worries slip through your grasp. You do not need to hold them. They will return to where they belong, dissolved into the vastness, leaving you lighter, freer, calmer. Sand also teaches us about time's generosity. Glass is made from sand, shaped by fire into something transparent, something that holds light. Buildings, windows, even the screen through which you watch this video, all made from sand, transformed. The earth offers us reminders that even the smallest, most ordinary grains can become vessels of clarity, beauty, and light. Tonight, you are reminded that your own small moments, your own fragments, can hold meaning too, even if they seem insignificant now. As you breathe, imagine each inhalation lifting grains into the air, each exhalation letting them settle again, rising, falling, drifting, settling, the same rhythm as tides, the same rhythm as sleep. If stray thoughts appear, let them fall like grains into silence. They do not need to be carried. They do not need to be sorted. The desert does not keep track of every grain, and neither must you. Allow them to join the endless library, where they become part of something greater, something that no longer needs your effort. The desert may appear barren, but life thrives there quietly. Seeds wait beneath the sand for rain that may not come for years. Yet when it does, flowers bloom suddenly, carpeting the dunes with color. Insects burrow beneath. Reptiles rest in shade. Nocturnal animals emerge under the stars. The lesson is clear. Even in stillness, even in silence, life is ready, patient, waiting. Tonight, as you lie in silence, trust that life within you is doing the same, restoring, healing, renewing. You do not need to control it, you only need to rest. So let yourself become part of the sand tonight. Feel your body as countless grains, releasing their weight, settling naturally into the bed beneath you. Feel your mind scattering, not in chaos, but in freedom. No longer clinging, no longer bound, but drifting into calm. You are not separate from the earth's silent libraries. You are one of them, a grain among grains, timeless, patient, at peace. Sleep as sand sleeps, quietly, endlessly, gently, under the stars of an eternal sky. Block 7, Rivers Drawing Paths. Imagine a river winding through the land, a silver thread weaving valleys, forests, and plains into a single tapestry. From high in the mountains, where snow melts into trickles, to vast deltas where water merges with the sea, rivers move with patience, with constancy, with purpose that is never hurried. They do not demand attention. They simply draw their paths slowly, etching the face of the earth in lines that last for millennia. As you rest tonight, picture your own breath as a river, steady, flowing, unforced, carrying you deeper and deeper into calm. Every river begins small, a drop of water sliding down ice, a spring bubbling from underground, a rainfall gathering in a hollow. At first it seems insignificant, fragile, a thread so fine it could vanish in the soil. But joined by countless other drops, it becomes a stream, then a brook, then a river with currents that carry life, carve landscapes, and shape history. In this way, rivers teach us that even the smallest beginnings matter. A single moment of rest tonight joins with others, forming a stream of peace that becomes part of something greater. Your renewal, your strength, your return to balance. Picture yourself walking along a riverbank at dusk. The air is cool and damp, carrying the scent of water and earth. The current murmurs beside you, not loud, not insistent, but steady, as though speaking in a language too ancient to rush. The surface reflects fading light, broken gently by ripples that travel outward in widening circles. Each ripple is soft, each sound calming, each moment an invitation to release tension. The longer you listen, the more your thoughts begin to flow like the river itself, not clinging, not resisting, but moving naturally, always forward, always toward rest. Rivers have always been companions of life. Civilizations rose along their banks. The Nile, the Tigris, the Ganges, the Yangtze. They offered water to drink, soil to farm, paths to travel. People prayed to them, sang about them, told stories of their spirits. Yet rivers themselves never asked for praise. They simply flowed, carrying silt, carrying fish, carrying seeds, carrying whispers of the land. Tonight, they can carry you too, carrying away your burdens, carrying away your worries, carrying you toward the quiet sea of sleep. Imagine drifting upon a boat carried by a gentle current. The water rocks you softly like a cradle. You do not need to row, you do not need to steer. The river knows the way, winding through forests, through meadows, through valleys where mist rises. You can lie back, close your eyes, feel the wooden surface beneath you and trust. Trust that the river's path is enough, that its rhythm is safe, that its movement will lead you where you need to go. Not to a place of struggle, but to a place of rest. Science tells us that rivers carve landscapes with infinite patience. Over thousands of years, they cut canyons, shape valleys, create fertile plains. The Grand Canyon, one of the most magnificent places on Earth, was carved by the Colorado River, drop by drop, grain by grain, century by century. No force, no rush, only persistence. The lesson is clear. Even gentle movement, when sustained, creates greatness. Tonight, you do not need to push. You do not need to force. Your gentle breathing, steady and quiet, is enough. It will carve peace into your body, calm into your mind, rest into your night. Think of the creatures that depend on rivers. Salmon traveling upstream, turtles basking on logs, herons standing still as statues before striking, dragonflies skimming the surface with wings like glass. They all move with the rhythm of the water, unhurried, in harmony. You too can join that rhythm now, aligning your own heartbeat with the current, letting yourself drift in time with the flow. Rivers also remind us that letting go is not failure, but freedom. A river does not cling to the mountains where it began. It does not try to hold on to every drop of rain. It moves forward, carrying what it can, releasing what it cannot, always open, always flowing. Tonight, you too can let go of the weight of today, of the demands of tomorrow, of thoughts that do not serve you. Let them drift downstream, carried gently until they dissolve into the vastness. Now imagine the mouth of a river, where fresh water meets the sea. The current slows, the water spreads, sediments settle, creating deltas rich with life. Birds circle above, reeds sway in the breeze, fish find shelter in the merging waters. It is a place of abundance, of rest, of union. You can picture yourself there, standing where river and ocean embrace, feeling that same abundance flow into you. This is the destination of all rivers, to join something greater, to rest in the whole. It is also your destination tonight, to merge with stillness, to dissolve into sleep, to rest in the greater calm of the earth itself. So let your breath be the river. Inhale, the current rises. Exhale, the current falls. Inhale, it carries peace into you. Exhale, it carries tension away. No need to rush, no need to force. Simply flowing, simply moving, simply resting. Sleep as the river sleeps, steady, gentle, unending. Trust that you are carried, trust that you are safe, trust that the path is drawn already. The rivers of earth have always known their way, and tonight, so will you. Block 8, the sky when cities sleep. When the streets grow quiet and the last windows go dark, when footsteps fade and conversations dissolve into memory, the sky above the city remains, patient and eternal, waiting to reveal itself once more. Cities are filled with noise, with light, with movement that never seems to stop. But even there, above the rooftops and towers, the sky endures in silence. The stars do not vanish when lamps are lit. The moon does not withdraw when streets glow with neon. They only wait, steady, faithful, constant. And when the city finally exhales, when the pulse of human life slows into rest, the sky unfolds again, vast and comforting, a blanket of infinity stretched above every sleeper. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a city that is slowly drifting into silence. The air is cooler now, the hum of traffic dimmer, the rhythm of footsteps fewer. Lights flicker out one by one, like candles snuffed at the end of a long vigil. Above, the darkness deepens. Not empty, but alive, filled with stars that seem to breathe with you. Each one twinkles not with urgency, but with patience, a reminder that even amidst the rush of life, there is always stillness above. Close your eyes and picture lying on a rooftop, safe and still. The city beneath you humming softly like a distant lullaby. The sky above you vast and limitless. The moon casts its silver glow, washing over buildings, softening their edges, transforming steel and stone into gentle silhouettes. Clouds drift lazily, their undersides glowing faintly, their movement unhurried. You feel as though you are suspended between two worlds, the quiet rest of the earth and the endless calm of the sky. Science tells us that even when we cannot see them, billions of stars shine overhead. The Milky Way stretches like a river of light. Galaxies spin in silence. Planets trace their orbits with steady grace. Light travels for thousands, millions, even billions of years to reach your eyes. A patient journey across the cosmos, so that even as you rest tonight, you are touched by ancient light. There is no need to understand its vastness, no need to grasp its distance. It is enough to know that it is there, steady and faithful, watching over you as you drift into sleep. The sky when cities sleep is not only a dome of stars, but also a mirror of dreams. For as long as people have looked upward, they have woven stories into constellations, drawn meaning from patterns, found comfort in repetition. Hunters, maidens, lions, swans, all etched in starlight, whispering tales to those who pause to listen. You, too, can let your imagination drift across those stories, not with effort, not with strain, but as if your thoughts were clouds passing gently across the night. No need to hold on, no need to remember, only to let the sky carry you as it has carried dreamers for millennia. Think of the way the city breathes at night. During the day it rushes, it pulses, it pushes forward. But when night comes, its breath slows, its heart calms, its movements soften. The city sleeps as surely as you do, and in that sleep, it is renewed. You can let yourself feel the same. That sleep is not absence, not loss, but renewal, a restoration as natural as the turning of the earth. As the city rests, so do you. As the sky waits, so do you. As the stars shine, so does the calm within you. Now imagine walking through a park in the middle of the city at midnight. The lamps are few, the paths quiet, the air cool against your skin. Above, the trees sway gently, their branches framing glimpses of the sky. Each glimpse reveals a star, a planet, a fragment of moonlight. Even here, in the heart of human creation, the universe is present, offering its silence, its calm, its patience. The city cannot drown it out forever. The night always returns. The sky always waits. Picture yourself lying on soft grass, surrounded by the distant hum of sleeping buildings. The stars look down, not as strangers, but as companions, as ancient guardians watching quietly, offering no demands, asking no questions, only giving light. The air smells of earth and stone, of rain that fell earlier, of life that continues even when no one notices. In that stillness, you realize you are not alone, not even in the vastness. You are held by the same gravity that binds planets, by the same silence that carries stars, by the same peace that fills the night. Even the smallest lights in the city reflect the stars above. A lamppost glimmers like a nearby sun. A passing car sparkles like a comet. A window glowing in the distance mirrors a constellation. The boundary between sky and city blurs, reminding you that all things reflect the greater whole. You do not need to separate yourself from the world to find calm. You only need to notice the stillness that is always present, waiting beneath the noise. So let the sky above the sleeping city be your sky tonight. Let its vastness stretch within you, giving your thoughts space to dissolve, giving your worries room to fade, giving your body permission to rest. You are as steady as the stars, as gentle as the moon, as endless as the night. Sleep beneath this sky, trust its silence, and let yourself drift as cities do, as people do, as the earth itself does, into rest, into renewal, into peace. Block 9. Animals falling asleep. Somewhere, even now, countless creatures are surrendering to rest. In forests, deserts, oceans, and skies, animals close their eyes, slow their movements, and give themselves over to the same rhythm you are seeking tonight. Sleep is not only human, it is a gift woven into the fabric of all life. From the smallest insect to the largest whale, the world quiets as day turns to night, and in that quiet there is reassurance. You are not alone in your rest. You are part of a vast symphony of slumber that stretches across the earth. Imagine a lion in the savannah, muscles heavy after a day of hunting, golden fur glowing faintly under the fading sun. It lies beneath an acacia tree, eyelids drooping, breath deepening, paws twitching as dreams arrive. Its power does not vanish with sleep. It is only stored, recharged, renewed. You too can let go of the day's strength without fear, knowing it will return with the morning. Sleep does not take away, it gives back. Think of a small bird, perched on a branch in a forest. Its claws lock automatically around the wood, holding it secure even as it drifts into dreams. Its feathers fluff against the cool night air. Its head tucks beneath its wing. Safe, weightless, it surrenders completely. You too are held as safely, not by branches but by the bed beneath you, the ground beneath that, the earth beneath all. You cannot fall, you cannot fail. You are supported. In the ocean, dolphins rest one half of their brain at a time, letting one eye close while the other watches, ensuring safety while still finding renewal. Their breathing slows, their bodies glide gently through the water, half awake, half asleep. This too is a reminder that sleep is adaptable, patient, forgiving. Even if you do not fall fully into dreams right away, even if your mind drifts between wake and rest, you are still being restored. Sleep does not demand perfection. It welcomes whatever you can give. High in the mountains, marmots curl into burrows, huddling together against the chill. They breathe as one, warmth shared, heartbeats slowing in harmony. In frozen tundras, bears sink into dens, their bodies slowing until months pass in quiet hibernation. Their stillness is not weakness but wisdom, an understanding that rest is as vital as motion. Tonight you too can follow that wisdom. You too can let stillness be strength. Even insects know the language of sleep. Bees return to their hives, bodies slowing, wings folding, resting until dawn calls them again. Butterflies cling upside down to leaves, wings sealed like closed books, waiting for the morning light to open them again. Tiny creatures, fragile and brief, yet they rest without question, without resistance. If they can surrender to the rhythm of night, so can you. Think of elephants, massive and gentle, lying on their sides beneath the stars. Their trunks relax, curling softly against the earth. Calves press close to their mothers, eyes fluttering shut, tails stilling. The largest land animals, carrying weight and wisdom, also need the softness of sleep. No matter how strong, no matter how enduring, every creature requires this pause. You too, no matter what you carry, no matter what you have faced, deserve this pause. Science tells us that every living creature rests in its own way. Some sleep deeply for hours, others only for moments. Some dream vivid dreams, others sink into silent stillness. But the purpose is always the same: to heal, to restore, to continue. Sleep is not optional for life. It is a rhythm as essential as heartbeat and breath. When you close your eyes tonight, you're joining not only humanity, but all living beings in this ancient ritual. Now imagine the world around you preparing for rest. In forests, foxes curl into dens, tails wrapping like blankets. In wetlands, frogs grow quiet, their calls fading into silence. In fields, horses lower their heads, eyes soft, legs folding beneath them. In skies, swallows settle into nests, wings tucked, voices hushed. Everywhere, in every corner, creatures give themselves to night. You are not separate from them. You are part of this same chorus of rest. Picture yourself drifting above the earth, looking down as night spreads across continents. You see lights of cities dim. You see fields fall into shadow. You see forests breathing in silence. And within each place, countless animals are closing their eyes. Whales floating in deep seas, wolves resting beneath pines, penguins huddling in Antarctic winds, owls blinking slowly before surrendering to stillness. The planet is a cradle, rocking all of life into slumber. Tonight, you are held in that same cradle. Let yourself feel this belonging. Let yourself imagine that as you close your eyes, lions, birds, dolphins, marmots, bees, elephants, foxes, and countless others are closing theirs too. You are not alone in your rest. You are part of a universal surrender, a global breath, a planetary hush. The earth is whispering to you the same way it whispers to them. It is safe. It is time. You can let go. So let your body soften as theirs do. Let your breath slow as theirs do. Let your mind grow quiet as theirs do. Sleep as the animals sleep, not with worry, not with doubt, but with trust, with surrender, with the assurance that tomorrow will come and strength will return. Tonight, you are simply part of the great chorus of rest, one voice among billions, singing softly in silence. Sleep, and let the earth keep watch. Block 10, Velvet Interval Soft Reminder. There comes a moment in every journey when the pace slows, when the steps soften, when the traveler pauses to breathe. This is that moment for you, a velvet interval in the middle of the night, a space not of interruption but of deeper sinking, like a pause between waves, like a stillness between heartbeats. You have already walked through oceans and forests, dawns and mountains, rivers and skies, and now, here, you are invited to rest in the quiet center, where nothing is asked of you except to drift. Close your eyes a little more, if they are not already heavy. Let the muscles of your face soften. Let your hands rest in whatever place they have chosen. Notice how your body already knows what to do, how it settles naturally, how it sinks deeper with every breath. There is no effort, no performance, no demand, only the velvet softness of now. In this silence, you may hear the faint echo of all the places you have visited tonight. The hush of the ocean, the whisper of the forest, the patience of the mountain, the flow of the river, the vastness of the sky. They are not gone. They are folded into you, stitched gently into the fabric of your rest. You carry them with you not as burdens but as blankets, warm and quiet, wrapping you in peace. Sometimes in the middle of the night the mind stirs. It wonders if it should stay awake. It wonders if it should try harder. It wonders if it is doing sleep the right way. But there is no right way, no wrong way. There is only this gentle unfolding, this gradual letting go, this velvet sinking. You cannot fail at rest. You cannot miss sleep. It comes as naturally as the dawn comes, as naturally as rivers flow, as naturally as stars shine. Trust that it will arrive. Trust that it is already arriving. And here, in this soft interval, I will offer you a gentle invitation. If these words, if this calm, if this journey through Earth's gentle secrets has helped you, then tomorrow, when you wake refreshed, consider leaving a soft footprint of gratitude, a like on this video, a kind comment about your experience, a quiet share with someone who might also need rest. You do not need to move now. You do not need to think about it now. Only when you wake, only when the morning has come, only when your heart feels ready. Even a simple subscription ensures that when night falls again, you can find this calm waiting for you, as constant as the stars, as faithful as the tides. But for now, you need not act. You need not decide. You only need to hear this reminder as if it were another whisper of the forest, another ripple of the ocean, another twinkle of the sky. A whisper that says, support this space if it has supported you. A whisper that says you are welcome here again and again. A whisper that says you are part of this circle of rest, this community of calm. Imagine that you are lying on velvet itself, soft fabric stretched beneath you, gentle to the touch, enveloping you in quiet. Its surface is smooth, its color deep, its warmth steady. You sink into it not with weight but with ease, as if it were designed only for your rest. That is what this moment is, a velvet place, a pause in which you are perfectly held, perfectly safe, perfectly free to let go. So breathe slowly, breathe gently, breathe as if the night itself were breathing through you. Inhale and feel velvet softness spread across your body. Exhale and feel every trace of tension dissolve into the fabric beneath you. Inhale and know you are safe. Exhale and know you are free. Over and over, until sleep itself feels like velvet, until dreams themselves feel like rest. This is your velvet interval, your soft reminder, your gentle pause. Nothing more, nothing less. You are safe, you are held, you are loved by the earth itself, and tonight, you are free to sleep. Block 11, the Song of the Seasons. The earth does not measure time in hours or days. It sings in seasons, each one a verse in an endless song, each one unfolding with a rhythm that is never rushed, never forced, always certain. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. The notes of this song return again and again, weaving a melody older than history, older than memory, older than every story humanity has told. To live upon this planet is to be carried within that melody, to breathe in harmony with its changes, to rest in its constancy. Tonight you can let that song cradle you just as it cradles forests, rivers, mountains, and skies. Imagine spring, the season of beginnings. The air softens, buds swell, blossoms open. Rain falls gently, seeping into the soil, awakening roots that have been waiting in silence. Birds return, their songs filling the air with new energy, fresh rhythms. Everything stirs, everything rises, everything begins again. Yet even in its awakening, spring is not frantic. Its growth is steady, patient, measured. You too can let your own beginnings be gentle. You do not need to rush into change. You can allow it to unfold, like a leaf opening to the sun, slowly, surely, beautifully. Now imagine summer, the season of fullness. Days stretch longer, light lingers, warmth seeps into every corner of the land. Fields are green, fruits ripen, rivers flow strong. Life expands, abundant and generous, offering its gifts freely. Yet summer is not only about brightness, it is also about ease. The long days invite rest in shade. The heat encourages stillness. The air hums with insects whose wings move in rhythms both constant and calming. Summer teaches us that abundance does not require haste. Fullness can coexist with slowness. Tonight you can let yourself feel full, not by striving, but by resting, not by gathering, but by receiving, not by chasing, but by allowing. Then comes autumn, the season of release. Leaves turn gold, amber, crimson, falling softly to the ground. Fields are harvested, animals prepare for rest, the air cools and sharpens. Autumn whispers that letting go is not loss but part of the cycle. Trees do not grieve their leaves. They shed them with grace, trusting that new ones will return. You too can release what no longer serves you. A thought, a worry, a burden, letting it drift down like a leaf in the wind. Sleep itself is an autumn, a nightly release of the day, a surrender that is not an end, but a preparation for renewal. And finally, winter, the season of stillness. Snow falls, muffling sound, softening edges, blanketing the world in quiet. Rivers slow, animals hibernate, seeds rest beneath frozen ground. Winter is not absence. It is presence in its most gentle form, presence of silence, of patience, of waiting. It teaches us that rest is not wasted time. It is the foundation of growth. Tonight, as you drift into your own winter of sleep, you are not stopping life. You are nurturing it, storing strength, preparing for your spring. Science explains these seasons as the tilt of the earth, the dance around the sun, the geometry of light and shadow. But beyond the science lies the poetry, a song sung without sound, a rhythm felt by all creatures. Flowers bloom and fade, birds migrate, snow falls and melts. All parts of the same melody, repeating, returning, reassuring. The constancy of this cycle means you are never truly lost. No matter where you are, the seasons will find you, the melody will play, the song will continue. Imagine yourself in a meadow that passes through all seasons as you lie still. In one breath, spring surrounds you, flowers opening, air sweet with blossoms. In the next, summer's warmth wraps around you, grasses tall, bees humming. Another breath brings autumn, leaves drifting down, air crisp and cool. And then winter, snow falling in silence, air sharp but comforting. The seasons change around you, yet you remain safe, unmoved, embraced by the cycle itself. Each shift is gentle, each transition smooth, each note blending into the next, like a lullaby with endless verses. Think of the creatures who live by this song. Bears who rest through winter, returning strong in spring. Birds who travel across continents to follow warmth and light. Trees that flower, fruit, shed and rest, year after year, without fail. None of them resist the song, none of them hurry it along. They surrender, they trust, they live within its rhythm. Tonight, you can do the same. You do not need to fight the night. You can surrender to it. You do not need to chase tomorrow. It will come as surely as the next season. You can simply rest within the melody. Now let your own breath become part of this seasonal song. Inhale, spring begins. Exhale, summer ripens. Inhale, autumn releases. Exhale, winter rests. Over and over, a cycle within you, a reflection of the earth itself. You are not separate from the seasons. They live in your body, in your rhythms, in your rest. Tonight, as you sleep, you are part of their song. So close your eyes more deeply now. Let spring's hope, summer's fullness, autumn's release, and winter's stillness flow through you. Let the song of the seasons cradle you, not as a demand, but as a gift. Not as a command, but as a lullaby. Trust that just as the earth turns, just as the seasons return, sleep too will come. Steady, certain, faithful. You are part of this melody, part of this rhythm, part of this eternal calm. Sleep, and let the song continue. Block 12, Rain's gentle perfume. There is a fragrance that belongs only to rain. A perfume that arrives when drops touch dry earth. A scent that speaks to memory, to safety, to calm. Scientists call it petrichor, born from oils released by plants and from geosmin, a compound created by soil-dwelling life. Yet long before names and studies, people recognized it as the smell of renewal, of quiet joy, of the world being washed clean. Tonight, you are invited to breathe in that perfume, even if only in imagination, and let it carry you deeper into calm, deeper into sleep. Imagine a storm that has just passed. The air is cooler, the clouds lighter, the world quieter. Drops cling to leaves, glittering in faint light. Pavement darkens, soil softens, the landscape drinks deeply. In that moment, the air fills with the unmistakable scent of rain, earthy, fresh grounding. You inhale and something within you loosens. The mind quiets, the heart softens, the body remembers what it means to be held by the earth. Picture yourself standing on a porch, watching rain fall softly across fields or streets. The rhythm is steady, gentle, endless. Each drop is small, but together they form a chorus, a lullaby tapping softly against roofs, against windows, against leaves. The scent rises with every splash, invisible yet undeniable, wrapping you in comfort. You do not need to move. You only need to breathe. Every breath becomes a bridge between you and the planet, between your body and the soil, between your thoughts and the silence that follows rain. Rain carries with it not only perfume but memory. Perhaps you recall childhood moments, running barefoot through puddles, hearing storms drum against rooftops, watching droplets race down glass. Perhaps you remember nights when rain outside made the bed feel warmer, safer, cozier. These memories are stitched into the perfume itself, returning to you when the first drops fall. Tonight you can let those memories soothe you, not sharp or demanding, but soft echoes, gentle reminders of safety and home. Science tells us that rain cools the air, cleans dust, nourishes soil, replenishes rivers, fills aquifers. It is renewal in physical form, restoration delivered drop by drop. But beyond science lies its emotional gift, the way it invites us to slow down, to pause, to listen. Few things hush the world as rain does. Streets grow quieter, animals retreat, people move more slowly. The planet exhales, and in that exhale we find peace. Imagine lying in bed while rain falls outside your window. The room is dark, the air faintly scented with petrichor. You hear the steady rhythm of drops against glass, against leaves, against earth. Each sound is soft, repetitive, hypnotic. You feel yourself being rocked by the rain, as if the world were a cradle and you a child again. Safe, held, cherished. The rain sings not to wake you but to lull you, not to call you out but to draw you in. In forests, rain deepens the green, saturating moss, dripping from branches, soaking roots. In deserts, it arrives rarely, but transforms the land, coaxing seeds to bloom, painting the ground with flowers overnight. In cities, it washes dust from streets, leaves puddles that mirror lights, cools pavements that held the day's heat. Wherever it falls, rain carries the same perfume, the same hush, the same invitation. Rest. Picture walking through a meadow after a shower. The grasses glisten, droplets bend stalks, the air hums with freshness. You inhale, and the scent is so grounding, so steady, that you feel anchored to the earth itself. You realize that this fragrance is not only around you, but within you. For the same molecules, the same memory, live in your own cells. You are not separate from the earth's rain. You are part of it, made of water, sustained by it, renewed with every drop. Let your breath now become rain. Inhale, the scent rises. Exhale, the world softens. Inhale, renewal enters. Exhale, tension leaves. Over and over, steady as droplets falling, calm as rivers filling, gentle as the earth exhaling. You are breathing rain tonight, breathing its perfume, breathing its peace. So let go now. Let the perfume of rain wash through you, clearing worry, cooling thoughts, softening every edge. You are the soil, receiving water. You are the air, carrying fragrance. You are the earth, renewed by rest. Sleep as rain sleeps, steady, cleansing, endless, quiet. Drift into dreams with the same softness, the same patience, the same perfume that has comforted the world for ages. Block 13 rocks that tell time. Imagine holding a stone in your hand. To you, it feels small, ordinary, solid. Yet within that stone lies a story that stretches across millions, sometimes billions of years. Rocks are the earth's timekeepers, patient archives of moments too vast for us to grasp. They carry in their layers the memory of oceans long vanished, mountains long eroded, creatures long extinct. They do not rush to tell their stories. They do not clamor for attention. They simply wait, steady and silent until we pause long enough to listen. Tonight, as you drift toward sleep, you too can become like stone, steady, patient, timeless, letting go of urgency and surrendering to stillness. Picture yourself sitting beside a cliff where layers of rock rise like pages in an ancient book. Each stripe, each shade, each band is a chapter of Earth's history. One may tell of an ocean that once covered the land, filled with coral reefs and strange fish. Another may reveal the slow deposit of volcanic ash, cooled and pressed into permanence. Another still may whisper of forests turned to coal, of deserts that stretched endlessly, of glaciers that carved valleys and left scars. To look at these layers is to look at time itself, condensed into silence, preserved without hurry. Now imagine walking across a stony plain at dusk. The ground crunches softly beneath your feet, pebbles and gravel shifting with each step. Around you rise boulders shaped by wind and water, their edges smoothed, their surfaces etched with cracks and lines. They are not broken, they are sculpted by patience. The air is cool, the horizon wide, the sky fading to stars. You bend down, pick up a small rock, and realize that in your palm rests not just an object, but an age, a memory, a piece of Earth's endless story. Science tells us that rocks form in three great ways: igneous from fire, sedimentary from layering, metamorphic from transformation. Fire, water, and pressure. The forces that shape stone are the same forces that shape us. From intensity, from accumulation, from change, something enduring is created. You do not need to fear these forces in your own life. Pressure does not only break, it also transforms. Heat does not only burn, it also forges. Time does not only erode, it also reveals. Tonight as you rest, you are being shaped gently, slowly, like stone. Think of crystals forming quietly in caves, drop by drop, mineral by mineral, growing over centuries into dazzling shapes. They are not rushed, they are not forced. They simply build upon themselves with patience. Think of fossils pressed into limestone, shells and leaves and bones immortalized by time. They are not loud, they are silent witnesses, testaments of life remembered. You too carry within you layers of memory, moments fossilized in your heart. But tonight, you do not need to excavate them. You do not need to carry their weight. You can let them rest, like fossils in stone, safe and still. Imagine lying on the ground at night, surrounded by rocks warmed by the sun's day, and now cooling under the stars. Their surfaces release heat slowly, like sighs, like soft breaths. You rest your hand upon one, and it feels solid, grounding, certain. In its presence, you feel your own heartbeat slow, your own breath deepen. The stone has no urgency, no worry, no rush. It teaches you the same lesson. To exist is enough. Even mountains, which seem eternal, are made of stone that is always changing. Erosion wears them down, rivers carve them, glaciers grind them. Yet the process is so slow, so patient, that to the human eye they seem everlasting. This is the paradox of stone. It changes and endures at once. You too can change slowly, gently, without fear, while still remaining yourself. Tonight, in sleep, you are not vanishing, not losing, but transforming quietly, like rock shaped by time. Picture now a cave, its walls lined with stone polished by centuries of dripping water. Stalactites hang from the ceiling, stalagmites rise from the ground, each formed from countless drops, each measuring time not in hours, but in centuries. You walk slowly through the cave, your footsteps echoing softly, the air cool and damp, the silence complete. You realize that time here is not a burden, but a gift, not a rush, but a patience. Sleep is the same. It is not wasted time. It is restoration written slowly, invisibly, deeply into your being. Let your body now become as steady as stone. Imagine every muscle softening into stillness, every thought settling into layers, every breath etching calm into your being. You do not need to move quickly. You do not need to accomplish anything. Like stone, you are enough in your presence, enough in your stillness, enough in your existence. So breathe as if you are carving peace into yourself, slowly, gently, permanently. Inhale, patience enters. Exhale, time expands. Inhale, calm settles. Exhale, worry fades. Over and over, until your entire being feels layered with rest, solid with peace, grounded like the oldest mountains. Tonight, you are part of the Earth's archive, part of its memory, part of its story written in stone. Sleep as rocks sleep, quietly, endlessly, without hurry. Become steady as cliffs, patient as caves, enduring as mountains. Let the rocks that tell time remind you that there is no need to rush, no need to fear. Time is already carrying you. Rest and let it shape you gently, into peace, into stillness, into dreams. Block 14, calm depths of the sea. Beneath the surface of the ocean lies a world of stillness, a place where sunlight fades, sound softens, and time seems to slow until it almost stops. The surface may ripple with waves, storms may churn above, but deep below, the sea rests in endless calm. Imagine yourself sinking gently, not with fear, not with struggle, but with ease, as though the water itself were cradling you, lowering you into silence. Each meter down is another layer of quiet, another step away from urgency, another moment closer to peace. At first there is light. The surface glimmers, fish dart, colors shimmer. But as you descend, the brightness fades to blue, then to twilight, then to darkness. Yet this darkness is not frightening. It is soothing, protective, safe. It wraps around you like a blanket, shielding you from noise, from haste, from worry. In this deep night, you are not lost. You are held. You are surrounded by a calm so vast that it seems infinite, a calm that mirrors the sleep you are entering tonight. In these depths, creatures glow softly, lanterns of their own making, pulsing with quiet light. They drift, they hover, they move with patience. Their lives are slow, measured, deliberate. Some barely move at all, waiting for what the water brings. Others flicker with gentle bioluminescence, painting the dark with stars beneath the sea. To watch them, even in imagination, is to be reminded that beauty does not need noise, that light does not need to shout, that existence itself can be calm and radiant. Picture yourself floating among them, suspended in the water, weightless, effortless. Your body is no longer heavy. Gravity loosens its hold. Every muscle softens, every thought drifts. You are no longer separate from the water. You are part of it, part of the ocean's endless breath. Inhale, and you feel the sea expanding within you. Exhale, and you feel yourself dissolving gently into its embrace. Science tells us that pressure increases with depth, that the weight of the ocean grows heavier the farther you descend. But strangely, this pressure does not harm the creatures who live there. It sustains them, shapes them, supports them. They are adapted to it. They are part of it. They thrive within it. In the same way, the pressures of your life have shaped you. But here tonight, you do not need to resist them. You can let them settle around you. Let them hold you steady. Let them become part of the calm instead of the struggle. The sea's depths also hold silence, unlike any other place on Earth. Sounds that are loud above become muted below, softened into whispers. Whales sing across distances, their voices carrying for miles, yet even their songs sound like distant echoes in the deep. You can imagine that silence now. Imagine every noise of the day dissolving, muffled by water, until only the soft rhythm of your breath remains. Think of the deep trenches, the valleys cut into the ocean floor, places darker than night, older than mountains. Few eyes have seen them, few lights have touched them, yet they exist, patient and undisturbed. They are reminders that mystery itself can be calming, that you do not need to know everything, that you do not need to see everything, that peace can live in the unseen. Tonight, you too can rest in mystery. You do not need to solve every question. You can let them sink, like stones into water settling into silence. Now imagine lying on the seabed, surrounded by sand that shifts gently with currents, rocks covered in soft corals, creatures moving slowly in the dim light. The water presses around you, not as weight but as comfort, like an embrace that reaches every part of you. There is no urgency here, no schedules, no demands, only the calm depths, endless, steady, eternal. Let yourself feel this same calm in your body. Feel every muscle loosen, every breath slow, every thought quiet. You are sinking into sleep as gently as you sink into the sea. You are carried, you are supported, you are safe. The calm depths of the sea are your calm depths tonight. So close your eyes and let yourself drift downward, not into darkness but into peace. Inhale and the sea expands. Exhale and you dissolve. Over and over until sleep itself feels like water, until dreams themselves feel like calm depths. Tonight, you are the ocean, vast, endless, serene. Sleep as the sea sleeps, quietly, patiently, forever calm. Block 15, winds combing the world. The earth is never truly still. Even in silence, even in calm, the air itself is always moving, brushing gently across mountains, plains, forests, and seas. These movements are not chaotic. They are patterns, currents, streams that circle the planet like invisible hands combing through its hair. The winds are ancient travelers, carrying warmth, carrying coolness, carrying seeds, carrying scents. They remind us that motion can be gentle, that change can soothe, that the unseen can be trusted. Tonight, as you rest, you can let the winds comb through your own mind, untangling thoughts, smoothing edges, leaving you quiet and free. Imagine standing in a meadow as evening falls. Tall grasses sway in unison, bending and rising with each breath of air. The wind does not shout. It whispers, stroking every blade, moving across the land with patient rhythm. You feel it on your skin, cool and steady, a touch that carries no demand. It does not push. It guides. It does not command. It caresses. As you close your eyes, you realize the same wind that touches you has touched oceans, deserts, forests, mountains. It has circled the earth and now it pauses here with you, inviting you to rest. Science tells us that winds are born from the sun's warmth, from air rising and falling, from pressure seeking balance. They are the planet's way of breathing, exhaling in one place, inhaling in another. They carry clouds across continents, bring rains to thirsty lands, cool hot deserts, warm frozen coasts. Without them, life would falter. With them, balance endures. Yet for all their power, winds are most often gentle, unnoticed, subtle. They remind us that great forces do not need to be loud, that strength can arrive in whispers. Picture the trade winds sweeping across the seas, steady currents that guided sailors for centuries. Their constancy was trusted, their rhythm certain. Imagine yourself on a quiet vessel, sails filled with their breath, carried forward without effort, without struggle. You do not need to row, you do not need to steer. You only need to trust the wind, trust the air that has been moving across the world long before you, and will continue long after. Now imagine a forest touched by breeze. Leaves rustle, branches sway, pine needles sigh. The sound is not noise but music, a lullaby written in countless notes. Each leaf a string, each branch a chord. You sit beneath a tree, listening, and the wind becomes your companion. It moves through your hair, across your face, around your body. It cools, it soothes, it comforts. In that moment, you feel yourself as part of the forest. Another leaf swaying, another note in the melody. Think of deserts, where winds shape dunes into waves of sand, patterns that shift but never disappear. Each gust draws new lines, each breeze sculpts new curves. Yet the desert remains, timeless and vast. The winds teach that change is not destruction, but transformation. That nothing is fixed, that beauty lies in movement. Tonight, your thoughts may shift, your dreams may drift, but beneath it all you remain, steady and whole. Even in cities, winds find their way. They move through alleys, across rooftops, down streets. They carry the scent of rain, the coolness of night, the promise of morning. You can imagine lying by an open window, curtains lifting gently, the breeze brushing your skin, bringing with it the perfume of the earth. It enters without knocking, without force, only offering its presence, its reminder that you are part of something larger, something endless, something calm. The winds also comb the seas. They stir waves, spread ripples, carry spray. Yet even here they are not violent but playful, moving ships gently, guiding gulls across horizons, rocking boats into harbors. Picture yourself at the shore, wind brushing your face, carrying salt, carrying whispers, carrying peace. You inhale and it fills you with freshness. You exhale and it carries away your tension. Inhale, coolness enters. Exhale, weight leaves. Now let your own breath mirror the wind. Inhale as if the air were combing through you, smoothing thought, clearing clutter. Exhale as if you were releasing every knot, every tangle, every heaviness, over and over, until you feel lighter, freer, softer. The winds do not hold on, they pass, they move, they let go. Tonight you can do the same. So let yourself drift with the winds that comb the world. Let them move through you, across you, around you, carrying you toward peace. You are not separate from them. You are air, you are breath, you are movement without weight. Sleep as the winds sleep, not by stopping but by flowing endlessly, quietly, gently, across the wide night. Block 16, Night in the Savannah. When the sun slips below the horizon in the wide African savanna, the land does not fall silent, but it does fall into a rhythm softer than day. A rhythm that breathes with the cooling air, with the stretching shadows, with the hush that settles across the grasses. The heat of daylight gives way to a gentler presence, and the animals, great and small, follow their nightly patterns, surrendering to rest. You can imagine yourself there now, lying in tall grass, the earth still warm beneath you, the sky stretching endlessly above, stars emerging one by one. The savannah at night is not frightening, it is vast, calm, and filled with the same invitation you are receiving tonight: rest. The air grows cooler, carrying with it the scent of dry grasses, of dust, of distant rain. A breeze moves across the plain, bending stalks, rustling leaves of acacia trees. The horizon glows faintly with the memory of the sun, then fades into deep indigo, then into the velvet black of night. Above, constellations reveal themselves in brilliance, the Milky Way arching like a river of light. The land feels infinite, yet grounding, endless yet comforting, wide enough to hold all worry and transform it into stillness. Across this plain, creatures prepare for sleep. Herds of antelope cluster together, folding legs beneath bodies, eyes half closing as they drift. Elephants, massive and gentle, stand beneath trees, eyelids heavy, their trunks resting against the ground. Giraffes lower their long necks, folding into awkward yet tender shapes of rest. Lions, who ruled the heat of day, stretch out in the coolness of night, their muscles soft, their breath slow. Every creature, no matter its size, no matter its strength, yields to the same call: to pause, to rest, to sleep. And there are others whose night is just beginning. Owls lifting into the sky, bats tracing invisible paths, insects humming softly in grass. Yet even their activity feels gentle, rhythmic, part of the wider lullaby. Nothing shouts, nothing disturbs. Everything flows with the same pulse. It is the savannah's night song, a melody composed of distant calls, shifting grasses, and silence woven between. You can listen to it now, even in imagination, and let its rhythm guide your breath, guide your heart, guide you deeper into rest. Science tells us that savannas cover nearly half of Africa, vast ecosystems that balance life across species, across seasons. Rain comes and goes, grasses grow and burn, herds migrate, predators follow. But beneath all the movement lies constancy, the earth sustaining itself, cycles repeating, balance enduring. Tonight, you do not need to manage balance. The planet already does. You do not need to hold the rhythm. The savanna sings it for you. Picture yourself lying beneath an acacia tree. The branches stretch wide above you, casting silhouettes against starlight. The air hums with distant life, but nothing approaches, nothing threatens. You feel safe, grounded, embraced by the land itself. The soil beneath you radiates the last warmth of day. The sky above cools your skin. Between them, you rest, balanced perfectly, like a note held between chords. As the night deepens, the savanna grows quieter still. The grasses sway more slowly, the calls of animals fade. Even predators, even the restless, eventually surrender to stillness. And in that stillness, the land itself seems to breathe, exhaling the heat of day, inhaling the coolness of night. You are part of that breath now. Inhale and the stars expand within you. Exhale and the grasses bend. Inhale and you feel vast. Exhale and you feel at peace. You may imagine dreams rising like constellations above you, each one a point of light, each one waiting to be explored. The night sky is a mirror of your own inner world, endless, calm, filled with mystery that does not demand answers. You do not need to name every star. You only need to rest beneath them. You do not need to chase every dream. You only need to let them drift to you. So let the savanna at night cradle you as it cradles its creatures. Let its vastness absorb your worry. Let its silence hush your thoughts. Let its stars guard your sleep. You are safe in this wide plain. You are held by Earth itself. Sleep as the savanna sleeps, slow, steady, endless. Block 17, Snow and Silence. There is a silence unlike any other, and it belongs to snow. When snow falls, the world softens. Edges blur, sounds fade, colors grow muted. Streets, fields, and forests are wrapped in white, as if the earth has drawn a blanket over itself for rest. You can imagine yourself walking into such a landscape, the air cool and still, flakes drifting slowly, landing without a sound. Each one is unique, each one temporary, yet together they create something endless, a hush so complete, it feels like the world is holding its breath. Tonight you are invited into that hush, into that silence, into that rest. Picture yourself stepping outside after the first heavy snowfall. The ground is bright, soft, unmarked. Your feet sink gently, leaving only faint impressions. The air is crisp, carrying the faint scent of winter, sharp yet clean. Around you, everything is quiet. Trees wear crowns of white, roofs are softened, fences blurred. The usual sounds of the world, footsteps, voices, engines, animals, are muted, absorbed by the blanket of snow. What remains is peace. What remains is silence. Snow is more than frozen water. It is a sculptor of stillness. Each flake is a crystal, fragile and delicate, yet together they hold power to transform landscapes. Mountains glow beneath them, valleys fill, rivers slow. The earth changes shape, not through force but through softness, not through noise but through silence. You too can change this way, gently, quietly, through rest. You do not need to push, you can soften. You do not need to force, you can yield. Sleep itself is snow, falling quietly, covering thoughts, settling the mind in silence. Science tells us that snow absorbs sound because of its structure. Countless tiny crystals create spaces that trap noise, turning even busy streets into places of calm. Imagine that same effect on your thoughts tonight. Each worry, each memory, each plan is a sound, and snow is falling softly upon them, covering them, muffling them, until all you hear is silence. You do not need to resist your thoughts. You only need to let the snow fall, covering them gently, hiding them until morning. Think of forests in winter, branches heavy with snow, bending but not breaking. The ground is white, the air still, the silence complete. Animals curl in burrows, conserving warmth, conserving energy. Even the wind seems slower, quieter, softened by flakes. To walk there is to walk inside a dream where every sound is distant, every sight muted, every breath visible in the cold air. Yet despite the chill, it feels comforting, as if the earth itself has slowed, as if time itself has paused. Now imagine lying in such a forest wrapped warmly, snowflakes drifting down upon you, melting against your skin before vanishing. You are not cold, you are cradled. The silence is not empty, it is full of calm. Each flake is a whisper, each drift a lullaby. You feel smaller here but not weaker, safer, lighter, freer. The snow takes away weight, takes away noise, takes away hurry. What remains is you, resting. Snow teaches patience. It falls flake by flake, slow and steady, yet soon the world is transformed. In the same way, rest comes breath by breath, slow and steady, until you are transformed. You do not need to seek sleep as a destination. You only need to let it fall upon you, gently, quietly, inevitably. Just as snow covers the land, sleep will cover you. So close your eyes now and imagine snow drifting down, flake after flake, settling upon your body, upon your thoughts, upon your day. With each breath, more falls, more covers, more softens. Inhale, the snow gathers. Exhale, the silence deepens. Over and over, until all is still, until all is quiet, until you are part of the hush itself. Tonight, let yourself become the snow, gentle, patient, silent. Let yourself become the silence in vast, endless, eternal. Sleep as the snow sleeps, falling softly, resting quietly, covering the world in peace. Block 18, deserts breathing heat and cold. The desert is a place of extremes, yet also of balance. It breathes in heat during the day and exhales cold during the night, a cycle as old as the earth itself. At sunrise, the sand warms quickly, shimmering beneath the blaze of the sun, radiating light and fire. But when the sun sets, that same sand releases its warmth into the sky, cooling rapidly, leaving the night air crisp, clear, and filled with stars. This rhythm, heat and cold, light and dark, expansion and release. Is the desert's breath steady and unbroken? Tonight, you are invited to join that breath, to let its balance soothe you, to let its vastness carry you into rest. Imagine standing in the desert at dusk. The horizon stretches without end, painted in gold and crimson as the sun lowers. The sand beneath your feet is still warm, radiating the memory of day. But as the minutes pass, the heat fades, replaced by coolness that rises from the earth itself. The sky deepens to purple, then to indigo, then to black, pierced by countless stars. The desert shifts, but it does not rush. Its breath changes slowly, gently, naturally, like your own. Inhale the warmth, exhale the coolness, inhale the light, exhale the dark. The desert is often thought of as empty, but it is alive with quiet life. By day, creatures hide in shade, burrowing beneath sand, waiting patiently for the coolness to return. By night, they emerge, owls gliding silently, foxes stepping softly, beetles tracing lines across dunes. Their movements are not frantic but measured, in harmony with the land's breathing. You too can move in such harmony tonight, letting yourself follow the rhythm of heat and cold, wake and sleep, day and night. Science tells us that deserts can reach extremes, scorching by day, freezing by night. Yet life thrives there because it adapts, because it rests, because it honors the rhythm. Seeds wait beneath the sand for years until rain comes, then bloom in sudden, breathtaking abundance. Cacti store water patiently, releasing it slowly, steadily. Every creature, every plant, survives not through constant striving, but through trust. Trust in the rhythm of the desert, trust in its breath. Tonight you too can trust. You can let go of striving, you can rest in the rhythm that sustains you. Picture lying on a dune as night falls. The sand still holds traces of warmth, cradling you, grounding you. Above, the stars are brighter than you have ever seen, scattered across the sky like diamonds on velvet. The air is cool, dry, clean. Each breath feels like it belongs not just to you, but to the desert itself, as if you are sharing lungs with the land. Inhale, and the sand sighs with you. Exhale, and the stars glow brighter. Think of the wind moving across dunes, reshaping them grain by grain. It does not hurry, yet over time, entire landscapes shift, valleys fill, ridges rise. The desert teaches that change does not need speed, it needs patience. Tonight, you are not rushing toward sleep. You are allowing it to arrive, grain by grain, breath by breath, moment by moment, until you are reshaped into calm. The desert's silence is also its gift. During the day, heat stills sound. During the night, vastness absorbs it. To stand there is to stand inside a cathedral of silence, where even your own heartbeat feels like a soft drum, steady and reassuring. Imagine that silence now filling you, settling into your bones, quieting every thought. You do not need to speak. You do not need to act. You do not need to plan. You only need to breathe, as the desert breathes, deeply, slowly, endlessly. So let yourself sink into the desert's rhythm. Feel the warmth of day releasing, the coolness of night embracing, the endless stars watching. Inhale as the sand exhales heat. Exhale as the night exhales calm. Inhale, the desert expands. Exhale, the desert rests. Over and over until you too are breathing like the land, until you too are part of its ancient cycle. Sleep as the desert sleeps, vast, patient, balanced. Let heat and cold, day and night, thought and silence pass through you like the desert's breath. Tonight, you are endless as its horizon, steady as its dunes, calm as its stars. Rest now, and let the desert hold you. Block 19, Islands that keep stories. Far from the mainland, where the sea stretches endlessly, islands rise like quiet guardians of memory. Each one holds a story, shaped by waves, winds, and time. Some are volcanic, born in fire, cooled by oceans, now softened by forests and beaches. Others are coral atolls, built grain by countless tiny creatures, patient architects of paradise. Still others are fragments of continents, pieces of a larger whole carried gently into solitude. Islands are keepers of stories, reminders that separation does not mean loss, that solitude can be sanctuary, that smallness can hold eternity. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, you too can become like an island, quiet, steady, complete within yourself. Imagine approaching such an island by boat. The sea is calm, the horizon wide, the air filled with salt and warmth. Slowly the land rises before you, a line of green against the blue, cliffs rising, trees waving, beaches glowing pale in the light. As you near, you hear the hush of waves meeting shore, the rustle of leaves stirred by breeze, the distant call of birds. It feels both new and ancient, familiar and mysterious. Stepping ashore, you realize the island has been waiting, not calling loudly but simply being, patient, enduring, welcoming. On islands, time moves differently. Without the rush of cities, without the endless lines of roads, life follows tides, follows sun, follows stars. Days are measured in the rhythm of waves, nights in the chorus of insects and winds. You can imagine yourself lying in a hammock strung between palms, the air warm, the scent of blossoms and sea mixing gently. The island does not demand, it only offers. You swing softly, rocked not only by the hammock but by the land itself, by the sea that surrounds it, by the earth's quiet pulse. Science tells us islands are laboratories of life. Species evolve there in unique ways, shaped by isolation, by scarcity, by adaptation. Birds grow flightless where predators never arrive. Insects become giants where competition is scarce. Plants twist into new forms to survive. Yet for all their uniqueness, islands are not broken pieces. They are whole worlds, complete in themselves. This too is a lesson. You do not need everything to be complete. You, in your stillness, in your solitude, in your rest, are whole. Think of volcanic islands with black sand beaches, steaming vents, mountains rising from the sea. They remind us that even in solitude there is power, even in stillness there is fire. Think of coral islands, low and delicate, their reefs glowing with fish and color. They remind us that even in fragility there is beauty, even in smallness there is abundance. Think of forested islands, thick with green, waterfalls tumbling into hidden pools. They remind us that even in isolation there is growth, even in silence there is song. Now imagine night falling on your island. The sea glows faintly with phosphorescence, tiny sparks of light stirred by each wave. The sky above is vast, stars unbroken by city glow, the Milky Way clear and brilliant. The air is warm, the land quiet. You sit on the sand, toes buried, listening to the gentle rhythm of waves. Each wave is like a breath, each retreat a sigh, each return a lullaby. You realize the island is breathing with you, or perhaps you are breathing with it. Inhale, the wave rises. Exhale, the wave falls. Inhale, the stars expand. Exhale, your thoughts release. The island keeps its stories not in books but in stone, in shells and trees. A cliff tells of lava that once poured, cooling into permanence. A reef tells of countless lives lived and lost, leaving behind their coral homes. A tree tells of storms weathered, roots deepened, leaves regrown. You too keep stories within you, of days lived, challenges faced, joys remembered. But tonight, you do not need to recite them. You do not need to carry them. You can let them rest, as the island does, stored quietly, waiting gently, kept without burden. So let yourself become the island tonight. Let the sea surround you, not as confinement, but as protection. Let the stars crown you, not as weight, but as blessing. Let the waves rock you, not as task, but as lullaby. You are whole, you are steady, you are complete. Sleep as islands sleep, timeless, patient, enduring, surrounded by seas of calm. Block 20, the final embrace. All journeys come to a close, not with abruptness but with gentleness, as waves that fade into sand, as winds that soften into stillness, as night that deepens into sleep. Tonight, you have wandered through oceans and forests, mountains and rivers, deserts and islands, snow and savannas. You have followed winds, breathed with rain, rested with animals, and dreamed beneath stars. And now here, in this final embrace, you are invited not to remember, not to hold, not to think, but to let everything dissolve into the quiet that carries you into sleep. Imagine the earth itself cradling you. Its arms are mountains, steady and strong. Its breath is wind, soft and constant. Its heartbeat is the ocean, steady and sure. You are not outside of it, not separate from it. You are part of its body, part of its breath, part of its endless rhythm. To rest tonight is to return to that embrace, to remember that you belong not only to yourself, but to the whole, to the calm, to the vast and eternal. Picture yourself lying beneath the night sky one final time. The stars shine above, steady and ancient, light that has traveled across unimaginable distances only to reach you in this moment. The ground beneath you is steady, the air around you is soft, the silence within you is deep. You are safe, you are still, you are ready to let go. Every breath you take now is slower, deeper, quieter. Inhale and you feel warmth spread through your chest. Exhale and you feel your body sink further into rest. Inhale and you feel light gathering gently in your mind. Exhale and you feel that light dissolve into stillness. Over and over until even the act of breathing becomes automatic, effortless, carried not by you but by the world itself. The earth whispers now in a voice you cannot hear but can feel. Rest, it is safe to rest, it is time to rest. Every tree, every wave, every grain of sand joins in that whisper. You are not alone in your sleep. You are accompanied by the entire world, by every creature, by every breath of air. Together all of earth rests, and tonight you rest with it. And before you drift completely into dreams, here is the gentlest of invitations. If this journey has carried you, if these words have calmed you, let the morning remember it. When you wake, refreshed and renewed, you may leave behind a quiet trace, a like, a comment, a share, a small gesture that ensures this circle of rest continues, that others too may find it. You do not need to act now. Sleep first. Always sleep first. But know that you are welcome to return, night after night, to this sanctuary of words, this embrace of calm. A simple subscription ensures the door will always be open for you. Now there is nothing more to do. No more places to travel, no more stories to hear, no more thoughts to carry. Only this, the final embrace. Feel yourself surrounded, held, cherished. Feel the earth beneath you, the sky above you, the silence within you. Feel your body soften, your breath slow, your mind quiet. You are safe. You are home. You are already asleep.